This is Football Psych. I am Coach Man Mike.
It's Lord Surge!
And guess what? It's good old Shaq, and I'm back. Raise hell.
Put up those goalposts, Shaq. Those raise hell goalposts. Here comes. Woo!
That's right. That's right.
Kick it through the goalpost.
Supposed to.
I can't kick. I can barely throw.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, those that are joining us, man, welcome. This is Football Psych, and we're going to have fun tonight. Hey, if you want to make comments, just put them in the good old comment section, and I'll keep reminding you as the show goes along. But it is the bye week. It is the bye week, so we can't lose, but we're not winning this week either. So, hey, how much of y'all guys think? You guys think that this was a much-needed bye week?
Well, I think it's long overdue. All right, so I'm glad that it's happening at this time of the season where our guys that have been banged up, guys that have been injury prone systemically through the season, like B-Rob, Austin Eckler, you know what I'm saying? Some of our other heels, they've been hurt. They getting the chance to get healthy when we need them. So I'm glad that the break is this late in the season. Last week of the year, you know, the Ravens strategically did it the same way. So it's like, I guess the 95 corridor right here, we're thinking the same way. We want our guys healthy and ready to go for this playoff push.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely agree with you, good old Shaq. And, you know, at the beginning of the season, a lot of us were saying, you know, roughly about 8 wins is the sweet spot of saying that we would have a successful season if we can get to 8 wins. And, you know, because that doubled basically our win output under the last year of the Rivera campaign. And so, like, I like the idea that we actually achieve that goal before we went into our bye week.
I agree.
And so now it's all about refocusing. We got a month left of football after this to get to the postseason. It is all about healing up and getting serious because these last 4 games are big.
Yes. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Oh, go ahead, Lance. Are you about to say something?
No. I said, heal us.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the way the Rams are looking, the way they looked yesterday against the Bills, we have to win out. There's no way that team that showed up yesterday against the Buffalo Bills is losing any more games this year. I'm sorry. We have to win out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I watched the game.
Oh, did I watch that game?
I'm telling you.
That game. You know, I'm still a huge Stafford fan. Oh, my God, did I watch that game?
Hey, there's no way that team is losing any more games this year. And for us, I think moving forward, since we're moving into the playoff push, the most pivotal game for us is the Falcons because they're still in contention. Philadelphia's about to lock down the NFC East. They're about to secure that seed, right?
Yeah, we kind of predicted that was going to happen at the beginning of the season. This was Philly's division. Even though we had the hot start, you know, we kind of figured Philly was going to win this division. I mean, this shouldn't surprise anybody.
No.
But you know, gentlemen, watching that game and the Panthers putting a smackdown on Philly tells me I feel a lot better about us coming into the second game with them than I did before. The Panthers put them on the ropes.
Carolina should have won that game. It came down to that one drop pass at the end. And Carolina should have won that game.
They got away with one. I'm telling you, they got away with one. It made me feel good about the Commanders.
Well, what I learned watching that game yesterday, thoroughly watching the game, because I paid more attention to it that game than I did when we played the Eagles.
Yeah.
What I learned from that game is that the Eagles' passing game is nearly non-existent.
Yeah.
It's nearly non-existent. AJ Brown was here and there. You got high caliber weapons, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and they were barely utilized. This has been a systemic thing with the Eagles that I'm starting to notice.
Well, we got 4 games left. We're coming back against the Saints, and the Saints might be without a starting quarterback.
He's already ruled out.
Oh, he is?
He's already ruled out because his left hand and he's in concussion protocol. He's already ruled out.
Already ruled out. So we should have a very, very good shot this coming week. Looking at them, I mean,
must win.
It's a must win. I think they're all must wins, according to what good old Shaq just said. Right? We're pretty much in the playoffs now, right?
Yep, we are.
We're 7 seed, right? We're 7 seed still.
Now, I want to see Green Bay lose. I would want to see Green Bay lose, and we bump into that number 6 seed. I'm gonna tell you why I would want us to bump at that number 6 seed. We do not want to play the Eagles twice this season and then go in. Say they win out. They go 15-2. They win out. We will see a hot Philadelphia team in the first round of playoffs.
Yeah,
and we don't want that. We do not want that.
I agree with you, Shaq.
I would rather it be Green Bay. Green Bay see them, and we will play. We would either play Tampa Bay or Atlanta, whoever, or Seattle. And we would play Seattle, I think. And I would rather take Seattle than.
Yeah, but God, they look good too.
Well, when you get the playoffs, everybody looks good. You know,
everybody looks good,
right? I mean,
and I believe the adage that when you make it to the playoffs, like if you actually really expect to be a champion, like you got to be prepared to beat anybody.
Yeah.
So like, you know, so you can't be squirming on like, who am I going to go up against? It shouldn't matter who you go up against. You should be ready to ball out.
Yeah.
True. Now the way the Rams playing again, the Rams might steal the NFC West. So
that would be something.
Yeah. They may. But it depends on what Rams team shows up next week.
I loved every minute of that game. Oh my! I was on the edge of my seat. Oh boy.
So for those that are on, make sure you put your comments in the section because we want to hear from you. This is a participation sport, so like unlike other channels, you get to talk crap on here. So go ahead and put your comments in the comment section. We will read them. We want to hear from you. So please, hey, we're live. Let's go ahead. Let's put your comments in the comments.
Yep. Now
let's raise hell.
Let's raise hell.
So I want to talk about some of the things up to this point, because when you get this far into like the season with this late bye week that we have here, we kind of got a good idea of what this team is.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know from you guys, I'm going to start with you, Lard Sarge. Who do you think, give me one or two of the studs that you think that have been part of this team this year?
That's hard. I'm going to have to say it. In places we didn't expect, right? Armstrong, right? Both of you don't think so? Shaq's like, no. Yeah. Look at the stats. And Fowler.
I was about to say Dante Fowler. Yeah, I'm about to say Dante Fowler. Dorrance Armstrong? No.
When you look at all of the games, he's in there, right? But Fowler has been come out of nowhere kind of guy, right? That really stood up. And Luvu has done that's what we hired him to do, right? So if to coach, to answer you correctly, I have to say if anyone stood, it's probably.
I'm not looking who stood out this season. I'm talking
Fowler,
about who
no one was looking at, right? It was Fowler to me. Then you got people that we brought on that were supposed to do their job, which is Chin, who's done amazing, and Luvu, who's done amazing, and Wagner, who's been on and off, but he's more on than off now. Those guys were expected to do that. So for me, it's Fowler.
Okay.
So what do you say, good old Shaq?
Well, okay. So look, my studs, I have 3 of them, right?
Okay.
I have 3 of them. Studs, right? One, Terry McLaurin. And I'm going to tell you why Terry McLaurin. We are finally getting the chance to see what Terry McLaurin potentials are with a quarterback. We've seen him with Heineke, we've seen him with Haskins, we've seen him with Mark Sanchez, we've seen him with a whole bunch of duds, right? And rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. I don't want to talk bad about the dead, but we seen him with mediocre and low-level quarterbacks. We're actually getting a chance to see him with a high-level quarterback and what his real potentials are. So he is definitely one of the studs for this year so far, and definitely a stud, right? Dante Fowler. Dante Fowler came. He looked like Dante Fowler of older. Jacksonville Dante Fowler. He looked like Dante Fowler of older. He had an interception. He had a pick 6 this year. He has a bunch of sacks, a bunch of hurries. He's up there with tackles. Just when we said the defensive end position was dead, Dante Fowler revived it, right? Frankie Louvu, of course, Frankie Louvu is having a phenomenal year. Phenomenal year. When I say phenomenal year. But my unsung hero of this defense, right now, right, is Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin is my unsung hero of this defense. That man is out there laying hat every week. He's sacrificing his body to make plays and stuff like that. Jeremy Chin is playing good football. So he's my unsung hero, stud on the defense. On the offense, my unsung hero on that offense, right, is that left tackle position. That left tackle position has been holding their own this season. It's been the biggest thing we've been on. Coleman and Lucas, we've been on their head the whole season. And guess what? They have been holding their own. That's the stud position on the offense right now. We know what Terry McLaurin gonna do. We know what Jaden Daniels gonna do. But Jeremy Chin and that left tackle position have been holding their own this season. Those are my studs.
But
All right. Well,
I got a question. We brought those guys in to do that job. So they're doing what we expected them to do, right?
Yep.
Who's the guy who showed up that's playing above par or what we expected? That's what I want to know.
Jeremy Chin.
No, we brought him in for that. We brought him in. That's why we brought him.
Jeremy Chin was no better than a special teams guy when we picked him up. He is excelling the ways he never did in Carolina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And the left tackle position, we didn't know what we had in the draft.
We thought we were dead.
And we thought we were dead on the left side. So those are my unsung heroes. Those are my studs.
All right.
But and these are the guys that we brought in.
all right. So we got Armstrong from Large Sarge. You said 3 and you gave me 5. But I'll let you get away with that one, good old Shaq. And so let me give you my studs. My studs over here, and I'm going to try not to use the ones that you all used, right? And I think I'm okay with what I have. I'm going to start on offense. I'm going to give you 2 studs that I think that I really, really like, and one's a rookie. I got to go with Jaden Daniels because, like, out of all the quarterbacks that are out there that would done it, like this team, this franchise has been searching for a quarterback for, it seems like 100 years. Like, and I don't want to count too early because, RG3 looked like that guy after his rookie year too, right? So, like, but I like what I see in Jaden Daniels. I think if we could redraft, I think we still go after Jaden Daniels. There's not a quarterback I would pick over Jaden Daniels. So, like, you're going to disagree. Like, you're not going to tell me both Knicks.
No.
I wouldn't.
We're doing good.
If I can tell you right now, if Jaden Daniels was off the table in the draft, the way Bo Nix is playing right now, I wouldn't be mad if we drafted him.
Yeah, but I will tell you at the beginning of the year, everything was Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is everything.
Yeah,
that's all you heard about. Like, Caleb Williams had Rookie of the Year wrapped up before a game was even like anybody threw a ball. Like, everything was Caleb Williams, right? I'm telling you right now, if we redrafted at number 2 again, I picked the same guy.
Yeah.
I picked the same guy. I picked Jaden Daniels.
If we redrafted, Chicago would pick Jaden Daniels.
Or Bo Nix.
Yeah, Bo Nix.
So, and I told y'all about playing in Chicago. I told y'all about this early on, man. It's not a friendly place to play. It doesn't bode well for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So it's just a very hard place to play. So anyway, all right, the next person I'm going to give you on offense, who I am just like, to me, you don't have an offense without this guy. And that's Brian Robinson.
Yeah, of course.
Brian Robinson, I got to go with him because I'm a running football kind of coach, man. And if I don't have a power running back, and Lawrence Sarge knows about me, I have to have a power running back. I need somebody to go in there and, go into beast mode and just lower his shoulders and just crack somebody.
Yeah.
You definitely see the difference through this year when he's in the game and when he's not in the game. It is night and day.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
To me, he's a stud that you cannot live without.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it. He's busy. He's missed games this year. But, man, we sure are a better football team when he's in the ball game.
And we dropped games when he was out. So,
Yeah.
We need him in there. And then
if he played in that Pittsburgh game, it'd have been different.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if he played in that game, it'd have been different because there was no ground game in that game. So it would have been different. And 5'8" Austin Eckler or a big bruising Brian Robinson would wear your defense down. It would have been a different story in that game.
Story. So then I'm going to give you 2 on defense too. And I'm going to give you a rookie and a vet on defense too. So my rookie on defense is Sinistro. I will tell you, I've been very, very happy with that pick. I will tell you, we needed help, and I'm telling you, like, our secondary has been a hot mess throughout this season. I do like Jeremy Chin a lot, right? But like, I think one of the best pickups that we did in the draft was Sandstrell, Mike Sandstrell, and I think like he's got such a high ceiling, he's only gonna move up.
And you know what? And you know what I like about Sandstrell? We watched his progression through the year. We watched he started out. We was like, man, what's going on? Then by like game 4 or 5, he's all over the place. Deflections, barely any pass interference calls. You know what I'm saying? He's interceptions. He's all over the place. So I agree with that Sandstrell pick. Like, I really do.
Going against Josh Daniels on the goal line, then not so good.
Yeah. And so I will tell you, the guy
put him on his butt.
the veteran I've got on defense that I just like, and I'm going to agree with you, Shaq, on this one. Like, it's Luvu. Like, and what I like about him is when we got him on him, we got him for the next 3 years, because Bobby Wagner, if he wants to continue to play football, we might give him a little bit longer, and I hope we do keep him a little bit longer. But if he doesn't, Luvu's going to hold that linebacker core together.
Yeah, he's
so like, and I love the way that he's playing. And you know, the 1B I would say would be Jeremy Chin, because I love those hard hitting, like just super aggressive defensive players. And when you got a guy like Luvu and Jeremy Chin, like if you're one of the other starters that are on that defense and you're looking at these 2 guys, you're thinking like, man, I got to step it up, man. These guys are coming here to play.
And you know what's good about that? I'm glad you said that about Luvu, dude. Luvu is hitting. Luvu is hitting. He's a disruptor. Like, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's out there in coverage. He's out there. He's in the every time there's a running play, he's in the backfield. Luvu is in the backfield. It's like these guys are scared to block him, and I like that. They know he's coming with ill will and intention, right? And harmful intention. So I do like that.
So can I give you a pleasant surprise player? Mm-hmm. Let me give you a pleasant surprise player nomination here. I got to go with Johnny Newton in that category, because if y'all remember, at the beginning of the year, I crapped on this pick because I wanted to take a left tackle with that pick. I actually wanted to trade back up into the first round and go for a left tackle. When we got him, I'm like, that dude's broke. And then when we got him into the house, not only was his left foot messed up from surgery, then he had to go get surgery on the other foot. I'm like, oh, great. This guy is not going to pan out for us. And when Jonathan Allen went down, and I was like, man, this is Johnny Newton. He's got to step up. He's got, and he has.
Mm-hmm.
I told you when you drafted, what did I say? I was big on Johnny Newton. I was big on Johnny Newton. I said, hey man, if this guy gets his time in the sun to shine, if he played the whole year starting at that defensive tackle position, he had potential to be defensive rookie of the year.
You did. You said that.
I said that.
Yeah, you did. You said that, and I didn't agree with you.
Yeah.
You were really down on him there, Coach.
I was down on him. That's why I have to say I have to consider.
That's a true stud right there. That's a true stud, right? Not someone we hired. That was a guess, right? And he became a stud.
Well, that's why I say he's my presently surprised player to this point. Like I'm glad I'm wrong about a guy, because when you take a guy in the second round, when he falls from a top 15 pick in the second round, and a lot of teams pass on him because they got concerns, like every team passed on him in the first round, and they were like, and then he falls to the second, and then when you listen to all the medical issues, I'm just like, and then all of a sudden he was going to be in depth to begin with. The deck was stacked against him, but maybe that made him hungry.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, right? It was not only his foot injury; he had off the field issues as well. So these are the things. I didn't know that. Yeah. Johnny Newton had off the field issues as well. So these are the things that made his stock drop from number 15 to where we picked him up at. And when we picked him up, what made me happy about this pick, I've been saying this all season. What made me we got a steal. We got this guy in the second round when he was a top 15 pick.
Mhm.
So I knew he was going to be a stud for us. He just needed the opportunity to play. Right now, the interior of this defensive line is looking good. It's just we can't stop the run.
Yeah. So Jack Fuller's out there. Welcome back, Jack. I appreciate you being a consistent listener on here, man. We appreciate you, Jack. And I love how you put on there, like Chin remind you some of the Taylor hits.
So Jack,
yeah.
Jack also has mentioned Wiley. What do you think about that, Coach and Shaq?
Well, I think Wiley has improved. And like I said, the whole offensive line has been a surprise to me this year. We've been taking dumps on this offensive line. Why did they pick up Badias? Why did they bring this person in? Why did they bring this person in? These are dudes that were bums. Allegretti. Why did they bring him in? Why did they bring these guys in? But they knew what they were doing, evidently, because the line, Jane Daniel hasn't been sacked that often this year. He's been scrambling and running a lot yet. A lot of these plays have been designed runs for him as well. But he has not been sacked a lot this year.
You know, I know the head coach is listening to this show. You know why? Because you know what the guys didn't do the last game? And then hype. He didn't do it. I was watching the entire game. I'm like, they watching the show. They're watching the show. They learned something. They learned something.
Yeah, you know, they all watch our show. So the offensive line coach is a guy by the name of Bobby Johnson. And I'm telling you, like, if I got to get a positional coach of the year award, it would have to be him, because I will tell you, at the beginning of the year, I had no confidence in this offensive line at all.
Yep.
You had Sam Cosmi, and quite frankly, there's been a couple of games here where Sam Cosmi struggled. I know what you guys are saying about Wiley. Wiley's had quite a few penalties this year on him, even though he's been playing pretty better. It's been left tackle. I agree with you, Shaq, you know, with Lucas and Coleman, but they've been rotating in and out. Like that, like they're neither one of them are the complete player right now. Allegretti, I haven't been overly impressed with, and Badass, I haven't really been either.
Games,
so, like,
stood up, Coach.
Altogether, though,
had really good games the last 2 games.
Yeah, okay, but listen to me, man. Like the whole total package, these players individually, none of them stand out besides Cosmi.
You're right.
Right? But you put them together, I have to give Bobby Johnson some credit, because like they're playing at a higher level than these guys are rated.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, and so like if I had to give a positional coach award for this year, it had to be Bobby Johnson on the O-line, because
I have to agree.
He's done some work. He's coached his butt off with those guys.
Well, I'll give you a runner up to that, right? I give you a runner up for that, right? Daryl Tapp, and I'm gonna tell you why. Daryl Tapp, because the defensive line was a weak one for us. Then Jonathan Allen went down. Our defensive ends have been garbage. They were garbage coming into the year, right?
That's
somehow he has pieced together and helped resurge Dante Fowler's career. Johnny Newton has went in there and stepped up. You know what I'm saying? Deron Payne has been Deron Payne, natural disrupt and stuff like that. That top right side with Dorrance Armstrong and the other guys substituting in and out and stuff like that. Okay, but he pieced together this defensive line. So Daryl Tapp is another one that we could talk about on this.
I think I could agree with that too. I think he's probably a good runner-up on that.
The 2 biggest weaknesses we had, it seems like both those coaches have taken what they had and made the best out of it on both sides of the ball, right?
Yeah.
So, Lard Sarge, you said like Dan Quinn's up for Coach of the Year?
I didn't say that.
Oh, was that you, Shaq?
It was me. Yeah.
Well, let me hear about that.
Okay, so Dan Quinn was on the list of 5 coaches for Coach of the Year, right? So the coaches was Harbaugh in San Diego. The Chargers, of course. Yeah, him, O'Connell, Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn, and who was the 5th? Who was the 5th? It was Harbaugh.
Was it McVay?
It wasn't McVay.
No. Who's another young coach? Isn't it Chicago's guy? No.
No. He got 5.
Minnesota's guy.
That's Kevin O'Connell. It was O'Connell. LaFleur wasn't on there. Sean Payton wasn't on there, which is a surprise. Sean Payton should be on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't Mike McDaniel, was it? No,
it wasn't Mike McDaniel.
Well, maybe Payton should be the 5th guy. The reason why you can't remember the 5th guy is because he shouldn't be on there.
It should be Sean Payton. Sean Payton,
coach.
It's Sean Payton.
That's Sean Payton.
Sean Payton turned that franchise around. So now
with Bo Nix.
Yeah, with Bo Nix
for a quarterback. Oh my!
After getting rid of Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mike Tomlin was the fifth coach.
Mike Tomlin, yeah, of course.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin was the fifth coach. Now, is Mike Tomlin being on this list after winning all these years? He's never had a losing season. Mm-hmm. That's a fun fact. His whole tenure as a coach, right? He has never had a losing season.
Crazy.
So I mean, putting him on the coach of the year in the coach of the year conversation, do we really need to do that when this guy's never had a losing season?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be realistic.
Coach of a lifetime.
Yeah. That's a hell of a record. Yeah, he's got to be in the running. Yeah.
Well, me personally, I think Dan Campbell has it hands down. Either Dan Campbell or Kevin O'Connell have it hands down, but I think Sean.
I love my Lions, but oh man, Dan.
Hey man,
no.
I have a lot of issues with Dan Campbell. It's hard. It's hard for me to vote for him. It's also hard for me to vote for Mike Tomlin too, just because I will give him the most consistent head coach award, right? When it comes to Dan Quinn, I think he I think he just the dude has a brain issue. Like he does not like to not go for it on fourth down. Like this fourth down, like he just as a coach believes I really truly have 4 downs.
Yeah.
I got 4 downs.
And but believe it or not, they won that game. Here's the news: it was Dan Campbell wanted to kick the field goal with 30 seconds left, and it was Jared Goff that said, "No, coach, I want to go for it." And he said, "Okay, go for it." And they got their first down. End of story.
Well,
shocker.
It did not only that, man. He has them playing a different kind of football in Detroit right now, and we seen flashes of it last year. We seen flashes, but they start getting injured down the road.
Coach of the year. That's
hands down. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but I have to give it to Tomlin for what he's done. Just the coaching and the head shed this year with the Steelers, the ball club they put together, the record that they're holding. It's amazing. And Wilson's already said, "This is my team." He came out this week and said, "This is my team." Jack Miller saying Peyton.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sean Payton. And Sean Payton or Harbaugh out in
he's zero to hero, right?
LA.
Peyton's zero to hero because
here's the real deal, guys. Well, here's the real deal, guys. Voting doesn't happen today, right?
Yep.
Voting happens at the end of the season. We've got a whole nother month of football where one of these guys are going to really emerge, and it might not be who we're thinking of today, right? Like because this is the time where you see who falls apart and who gets hot.
Yep.
And if one of these guys get hot, that's the one who's going to end up winning the award.
How come nobody said Andy Reid?
No,
they just won their 9th divisional title in a row.
He won it last year or the year before that, didn't he?
Why isn't his name in this year?
No, man.
They didn't know. There's only one other team that has 12-1.
Andy Reid has a good chance of winning his 3rd Super Bowl in a row. That's enough. It's enough. Good job, Andy Reid.
All right. That comes down to coaching, doesn't
it? Yeah, and that will be
in there.
And that's a Hall of Fame thing right there. You went 3 in a row because you set an NFL record, and nobody can touch you then, right? But to me, a lot of times where I look for Coach of the Year is I'm not looking for the one who consistently does something every year. Like if you do like the Mike Tomlin, I make it to the playoffs every year. Okay, you're a solid coach. You might get it one year in there, but you're not like in the running every year because of that, right? You are sustaining your football club at a certain high level. Good on you, right? But when I look for Coach of the Year, I'm looking for that zero to hero kind of guy. Like who is the guy who has to coach his butt off and turn an entire program around?
Yeah.
Right. And then you're just like, man, what he's done with that program.
Quinn in that. We're a whole different ball club than we were last year.
Now hold on. This is why I'm gonna say no to Dan Quinn. I'm gonna tell you why, right? It's not because of Dan Quinn. It's a staff Dan Quinn and the general managers put together.
Adam Peters.
Adam Peters. Yeah, I just had brain fart. They put together. They are 8 guys on that in that coaching staff that can be head coaches in the NFL right now. It's a staff they put around Dan Quinn. Once these guys start leaving, you're going to really see who Dan Quinn is.
Well, I think part of it is it's going to be interesting because this team still, in my opinion, is not completely built yet either.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to remember it is Adam Pearce's first year, and he was really overhauling this roster. And so, to me, I don't really judge a coaching staff until their second year.
Mm-hmm.
What do they look like when they've had an offseason of continuity under their belt, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when they build upon what they had the previous year? Now you're in year 2 of what you got going. But to your point is, it could still be a little volatile because what if Kingsbury, which I wouldn't lose any sleep over, what if he gets a head coaching job somewhere? Okay, well, now whoever we bring in might bring a different offensive scheme that everybody's got to learn, right? I don't think Witt's going anywhere no matter what, but, because he's too junior. But we could lose Kingsbury.
Well, there's got to be something to be said for an entirely new coaching staff to come on board, and you're the head coach. You're the head of the ship. You're setting the direction. You're making the game plan week to week. And Quinn's done that.
Yeah. Again, I think we don't have to vote today, right? Like in 4 weeks, let's see what he does over this next 4 weeks. Does he make this a hot team that's ready to compete in the postseason? If
we make it to the playoffs, then I'm gonna start considering him in those talks, because we went from winning 4 games last year to make it to the playoffs. I'm going to consider him in those talks, right? Doubling our win total from last year is not enough.
Yeah. So all you guys who are watching, please comment in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. We like to recognize you. Like, you're on here. This is a participation sport, not like other channels where you can just watch and just hang out. We are live, so comment, and we want to comment back to you.
Shout out, say hello. Say hello to us.
Say hello to us. We want to hear from you, man. This is your home. We talk football. We want to hear what you got to say.
Jim raised up from Texas. We got a fan in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
So talk to me about the playoff outlook. Tell me what you think there, good old Shaq.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, as we were discussing earlier, right? So, Detroit, Minnesota, they're locked in, right? Now everybody else in Philadelphia locked in. Philadelphia's gonna win the NFC East. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think they just pulled. We're in the second place. I think they just pulled away from everybody else, right? But if you look at the bottom from Green Bay to San Francisco, these are 1 loss, 2 losses away from the whole 6 and 7 seeds changing. So, I mean, that's why I said we have to win out. We have to win out. We have to win the Saints game. The pivotal game is the Falcons game, because the Falcons are on the bubble right now because they're not in, right? And if we win this game, then we lose against Atlanta and lose against Philadelphia, the Rams are in. And like I said, the way the Rams are playing right now, the Rams could win it in the NFC West. Now, if Tampa Bay continues to surge and they go back and forth with Atlanta, right? And Tampa Bay gets on the bubble getting in, we have the same record. Tampa Bay has the tiebreak over us. They beat us the first game of the season.
Yeah,
that's true. So, obviously, I think that the primary guys that we got to watch for is Atlanta, but we get to play them, right? Yep. And then, of course, we got to we definitely, I would agree, Minnesota and Green Bay definitely look like they're going to have wild card spots in there somewhere. So that really leaves one slot open between Atlanta, the Rams, and us.
Yep.
Unless you start seeing some, it's going to come down to the crunch, but like every game counts. And I think we got a really good shot of winning in New Orleans. So then it really gets into our divisional games.
Yep. We got to beat the Cowboys. Have to beat the Cowboys.
Have to beat
the Eagles. Have to beat the Eagles. The Eagles at that game, by the time we get to the Eagles, don't be surprised, because we're going to be at, I think, what's that, week 17? Something like that. 17. Don't be surprised if you start seeing the Eagles rest players.
Yeah, but hey, listen, I did catch up on the news today about that game, Week 17 against the Eagles. It's a consideration game to be a flex game. They're looking at flexing that game to Saturday.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Make it a primetime Saturday kind of game. So, like, that's on a bubble right now. So it'll be interesting. But, put them in a little bit of prime time to kind of beat that game up a little bit. And that would be interesting.
All right,
Yeah.
gentlemen, I got a question from Jack, which I think it's an outstanding question to ask at this point in the season with the way things are settling out. And he said, and this is both you, Shaq, and to Coach Mad Mike, would you want to play Philly for the third time or play Seattle and Tampa for a wild card? Which one would you want to do?
Me personally, I mean, like Coach Mad Mike said earlier, we in the playoffs. There's no givens. There are only good teams left in the playoffs at this point. But I'm gonna tell you, if there was someone I would say, hey man, let's go get. I would say let's go back to Tampa Bay, because if we play Tampa Bay later on in the season, the Tampa Bay team that's now is not the team we played first game. We're not the same team from the first game. Tampa Bay will be the game in Tampa Bay at that.
Well, I think if we make it in, like currently right now, I think we're scheduled to be like the 7th seed. Isn't that what you said, Large Sarge?
We're 7th seed right now.
Seven seed.
So in the 7th seed in the wild card, we're going to go up against the number 2 seed in the wild card round. And if I was to say, well, who the number 2 team in the wild card round right now would be Philadelphia.
Yep.
So
I'd rather see 3 games against Philly. I don't think we beat Seattle. Tampa Bay, we should, but it's a question mark. If they come out playing, it's hard. Philly, to me, looked weak. They've looked weak the last 2 weeks. We should have beat Philly the first time. We had a chance. They look weak.
I think we would have a chance. Like, it's a very good question that Jack asked. But I actually, one thing about playing a team three times is you know them, but they know you too, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely, there's no secrets out there anymore. You're gonna have to bring your A game on it, and the question is are they beatable?
Yes,
and I think that they might be.
They are.
That could be a wild card upset, right?
And we
there.
played without Robinson.
Yeah, so that could be a wild card 7 seed going up a number 2 seed. That's an upset game.
Yep, I see it. I totally see it.
Wow, yeah.
Seattle to me looks too strong. They look strong. They're gonna go. Crazy enough, right? They're gonna go.
Now, my season prediction was it was going to be Philly was going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, against Buffalo, right?
Against Buffalo, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Shaq was going with Baltimore at the time, but I was, a lot of people were thinking that the 49ers would be back in the mix, but I always knew that they weren't going to be in the mix.
That game last night was punishment.
Horrible. Yeah, it was horrible.
It was punishment. They came out and diced the hell out of it last night. They're not out and running.
Yeah, you know how much I hate the pundits, right? Because I always believe that they're always wrong. Everybody was high on the 49ers in the offseason.
Yeah.
And I told you in the offseason that there was way too many distractions for this team. That this team was going to fall apart. With the whole Brandon Ayuk thing, the whole Trent Williams holding out, the contract situations the way they were, all the distractions that were going, like, it was just too much garbage.
Losing Adam Peters, like it was just like a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
So
they looked very, very strong yesterday. Too strong, I thought. I was like, wow. They got it together.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all something sad. If the Cowboys win tonight, they still in contention.
Yeah.
It would be so messed up. We get to the last game. It'd be so messed up. We get to the last game of the season. They win out. We win out, and then it's whoever wins is in game for the last game of the season.
Oh my goodness, man! I hope it don't come to that.
Totally.
It could happen. I mean, that's the reason why they built the schedules like they do, because they want drama in the final week of the season, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason why they build the schedules like this. But like, I hope it don't come to that.
We got to beat Dallas. We have just got to beat Dallas.
I think we take one game at a time. I think we just need to beat the Saints, and then we can regroup. We need to.
I think we got a really good shot on the Saints. We're coming in healthy off a bye. We should have a good game plan. They should have plenty of time to do their homework. We should come in and pull them apart. We should.
Well, this is the thing right here, though, right? They're not preparing for Derek Carr anymore. So Spencer Rattler has got a little bit of burn this year. Didn't look good at all. And this Haener guy, we don't know nothing about.
That's right.
We don't know nothing about him.
That's right.
So I mean, we can say that they still got Alvin Kamara. Their receiving core is still decent. Defensive line is still good. Like we can't go into the Superdome sleeping on that team.
No. We cannot. Exactly. We cannot sleep. We have to have a solid game plan going in. Yeah. Or we can get our butts handed to us. Yeah. Absolutely. It's not a gimme. It's a should. We should win.
Well, we should have beat the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We should have won that Steelers game.
Yeah. I know. That's why we love to watch. That's why we love to watch. Any given day, the Panthers almost beat Philly. Ah!
So I want to give y'all an interesting stat that I looked up today. Like this is the first time that we've had 8 wins in the past couple of years. So we had 8 wins last time in 2022. But
we had 8.
Yeah, we had 8 wins then. Rivera was hot then, and it was before he started friggin' really kind of declining. But like it's been 9 wins. It's been since 2015.
Whoa.
It's been since 2015 since we've had 9 wins.
You know, I predicted 9 for the year.
You did.
Yeah.
And like, so we beat the Saints. We've gotten to a level that we haven't been to in 9 years. And it's been since 2012 since we won 10. And then if you look at more than 10, like if you're talking about winning out, we haven't done that since we won the Super Bowl in 1991.
Well, you know, I got a 75% chance of being right on 9 wins. I got a 75% chance. 25%.
And I told you, Jack predicts 11. Look at that. He predicted 11.
Yeah.
That means you do have to win 3 out of the last 4 there, Jack.
Jack, if we get 11 games, man, we're in the bowl. That means we beat Philly, we take the division, and we're going to the bowl.
Wait, no, that doesn't give us a.
Hey, come on, man. I'm like, long song, man. You said you're doing too much.
No, that's what it means. 11 games?
11 games means 11 games. I mean, Philly has 11 games now.
Yeah. It means
so you would expect them to lose out. Yeah, I mean, if we get 11 wins, you're expecting them to lose all 4 of their last 4 for us to win the division.
Right.
I can tell you, I just sit here and I think about the 3 games that like the Ravens game, the Steelers game, and the Cowboys game, games that we had a grasp on if we had won those games.
Yeah. Oof. It would be kind of crazy right now, right?
Yes.
But
you know, I heard on radio, I was listening to the game at work, the Philly game. Some dude put $3 million on Philly winning. And his winnings, which he did get it, was $442K is what he won. But he put a $3 million bet on them winning and almost lost it.
Wow. That's just a whole kind of money that I don't relate to.
Yeah. No, I can't relate to it.
I played the Powerball.
This is $3 of gold. I can't relate to $3 million on a game.
Man. But so you know what I was going to tell y'all earlier? So we cut Emmanuel Forbes, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't it be crazy if we cut him? He plays for the Rams now, and the Rams wind up going all the way, and he gets a ring. He gets a ring before, and we would just cut it down his throat.
Hell of a game yesterday. I was sitting there going, "Why did we cut this guy?"
Well, I actually thought that was going to happen last year when we got rid of Chase Young, and because I was just like, we gave up Chase Young, went all the way to Super Bowl. I'm like, I felt the same way last year. If this dude gets a ring, Oh,
Did you see the Saints game? Either of you? Did you see how chunky Chase Young has gotten?
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. He put some weight on. Hey,
my God!
he's eating, huh?
Yeah, he's eating and he been in the weight room. Yeah, Chase Young is not small no more. It may be the new small safety in the post, but he's bulked up a lot. Remember we had him, he was like a little lean, fast guy. No, not no more. Chase Young is
a power guy.
Yeah, he's a power guy now.
And he
bulked up.
destroyed in that game. He was all over. I was like, I guess somebody finally lit a fire under his butt.
Hey, they was talking about him today.
Saints only signed him for 1 year, and it was probably like, this is your last chance, because this is like, that was already his third team he's with in freaking 2 years. So it's just like, you better shape up, or this is probably your last chance.
Orleans, they're feeding that boy. I don't know if they're feeding him jambalaya,
gumbo, boudin, or everything.
But they are feeding that boy something because he's huge.
Yeah.
I was looking at the screen going, damn, dude.
Hey, look, he down there eating boudin, crackling. He eating a jambalaya. He eating a crawfish, etouffee. He down there eating it all. Down there going to the drive-through daiquiri shacks. They feeding him good. He eating home meals. Up here, you either get the home meals down there, or you get the carry out up here.
All right, guys. So I got a question. So I watched the Saints game. You know, I was watching Chase. He had a great game, actually.
He did.
He's actually been playing a hell of a lot better. It's a rivalry game. He's coming back, you know. He's gonna play his number one team. How do you think he's gonna do against us?
He's gonna be on. He has a vendetta in his mind. He's gonna be ready to go, especially the way he found out he was traded.
Yeah,
they didn't notify him. He found out via social media that he was being traded.
He's gonna be keyed up.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to come back, and he's going to be
that happens with every player, though, when they get traded and they go up against their old team again.
And who do we got on the left side to protect? Who do we got?
We got Wiley on that side. He usually plays on the left. Now, sometimes they line him up on the right, and he'll go up against our left tackle, but typically he'll play on the left. He'll go up against Wiley.
So Jack, you mentioned Wiley out there. How do you think Jack's going to stack up against Chase Young in this game coming up? That's what I want to know, Jack. If you're watching, come back and let us know what you think, how Wiley's going to do against a new and improved jambalaya-fed Chase Young.
Well, I can tell you right now, watching him, he had 8 pass rushes yesterday. He had 8 pass rushes, and they say he was getting to the quarterback on an average of 2.8 seconds.
Yeah.
The stat just came across the screen now.
He was moving. I'm telling you, the boy. That's why I brought it up, because I'm like, God, he's freaking huge, and he's still moving like he was 50 pounds lighter.
Yeah, he was getting to the quarterback at an average of 2.8 seconds. So they was like he was breaking records for that. So I'm gonna tell you right now, B-Rob, Austin Eckler, John Bates, Ben Sinnott, Zach Ertz. It's gonna be a lot of double team on him, a lot of chip blocks, all that stuff. Or Jay Daniels gonna be running for his life most of the game.
Yeah.
We got rid of him for nothing.
Jack's response is 50-50 how Wiley's going to do. I agree with Jack, actually. I think Chase Young's on fire, and he's coming into a rivalry game, right? Yeah. He's going to get some – he's looking for some pay. He's itching. I know he's itching.
Yeah, because, Montez Sweat thought the same way. Montez Sweat, when he came in here and he thought they won, he was already on the sideline celebrating. I remember I was at the game.
So we definitely have to game plan against Chase Young. He's definitely picked up the pace.
I will tell you,
tough for us.
I will tell you though, when it comes to Wiley knows him. They spent a lot of time going against each other and battling in practice. Yeah. So it's no secret between those two. Yeah. So it definitely will be interesting. Usually the neutralizer usually goes to the offensive line when you know.
Well, one thing, I didn't mean to cut you off, man, Mike, but I'm going to tell you one thing I did notice, though, yesterday with Chase Young, besides him being bigger and getting to the quarterback, right? Chase Young didn't take no plays off. When he was in the game, sometimes he would go, and then if the play get past him, he ain't chasing the play no more, none of that stuff.
I even saw that in the Super Bowl. When he was in the Super Bowl, he was taking plays off.
Yeah, he was running people down. He was the play didn't stop with him at the line. You feel what I'm saying? I was like,
he had motor. He had motor.
He had a motor.
When we watch him in San Francisco, Mike and I, because Coach Mike had told me, this guy's he's a joke. as soon as the play goes the other way, he quit. And I'm like, really? All right, we're watching the game. I'm like, dadgum, Coach Man, Mike, you called that one right. I'm like, he just stopped.
Yeah.
And he's not doing that now.
He knows.
He's being coached right. He's being coached right. He found his life and motivation for sure.
Yep. Jack said, "What is the biggest play of the year so far besides the Hail Mary?"
Jack, I got to correct you, Jack. It's not the Hail Mary. It's the Rays Hail Mary. We already named that. It's the Rays.
Yeah, that's right. We named it the Rays Hail Mary.
We got the name, Jack. Come on now, Jack. You remember it's called the Rays Hail Mary.
The Rays Hail Mary.
I love you, Jack, but you got to get it right. It's the Rays Hail Mary.
Jack. Don't beat Jack up. We love Jack.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, the Rays Hail Mary. Yeah, besides that, that's a good question. What's the biggest play besides the Rays Hail Mary?
What's the craziest catch anyone's made? Has anyone done the tippy toe?
I mean, that doesn't have to be a catch.
A tippy toe catch. Zach Ertz in the back of the end zone. Or the corner.
I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say that. And, no, this is me. And this I agree with that play right there, right? But to me, it was in the Cowboys game. It was that 86-yard touchdown pass by Terry McLaurin. They brought us back in the game.
Yeah,
it was that play.
Yeah, I agree.
I've never seen Terry McLaurin run like that ever.
Yeah.
So it was that play. Besides the Hail Mary, it was that play.
Yeah. You agree, Jack? You agree, Jack?
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
And that was his best, longest catch for TD ever.
Because that was
that had to be it. Yeah,
that was like a mini post, but he broke it after that.
Yeah,
he turned on like you're right. He went like I didn't know he could run that fast either.
I didn't know he could run that fast. And then we
never saw it before.
Yeah, that has to be the next best one. Jack, come on, come back to us and tell us what you
we could have had that game if the return didn't happen. I'm like, damn man, what are we doing?
Yeah, that was probably the biggest play against us.
Yeah,
Was that?
Jack saying week 3. What in week 3, Jack? Which play in week 3?
And that wasn't the biggest play. That wasn't the biggest play against us. The biggest play against us to me was that Mike Williams touchdown. That was his only touchdown this year in the Pittsburgh game.
Really?
Yes, because we were up.
I mean, no, that was the only one he got this year.
That's the only touchdown he's got this year, and he's only had 6 receptions since then.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
One play that I really like. It was this week past or the week before was B-Rob for 40 yards for a TD. When he finally busted one out for a long run for a TD, I thought that was a highlight play too for us.
Against Carolina?
Was it Carolina? Yeah, he busted a 44-yard run for a TD.
When I was yelling, "Go B-Rob, B-Rob!"
And he finally got his. Jack is saying in week 3, the 4-2 touchdown.
Huh?
You got to explain that one, Jack. I'm clueless.
The 4th and 2 touchdown, the 4th down and 2 to go, and he got a touchdown.
Vinny.
I don't know what. I'm lost.
We're lost, Jack. You got to help us out a little more. Come on, talk to us, Jack.
The 4 and 2.
Yeah, he's saying Vinny.
Who's Vinny?
Vinny.
Come on, Jack.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I don't know, but to me, besides the Hail Mary, it was that Terry McLaurin play.
Cincy.
Oh, okay. He meant Cincy. So we were going against the Bengals.
Yeah, against the Bengals.
And it was a 4th and 2. I don't remember the 4th and 2.
The 4th and 2 touchdown. Yeah, I think I do remember because we were watching that game in your house there, Coach Mad Mike. I think I remember exactly what he's talking about.
Oh, you were down here.
That was a good play. Yeah. That was a good
play. Like, man,
yeah,
week 3 was so long ago, man. I don't even remember week 3.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
I remember who we were playing.
Yeah, he's right, and that sealed the game. Yeah, Jack, you're right. I remember that because I was having beers with Coach Mad Mike on his couch in his house in Florida.
I might have had too many because I don't even remember that play.
we were going crazy because we weren't supposed to beat the Bengals
on Monday night. Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
huge win.
Man,
I agree with you there. That's a good
I hope Joe Burrow throws for 500 yards tonight.
Oh, he could.
I hope so.
They need to do something, or they're out.
I'm telling you, I will tell you, and Large Sarge knows this about me. Like that is my favorite quarterback in the NFL. I love Joe Burrow. I just think he's like the complete quarterback. he's having an off year this year. Of course, he had an off year last year because he got injured. But like to me, I've always been a huge fan of him.
Hey, Coach Man Mike, Joe Burrow is still in top 5 in passing yards. His team is having a bad year. He's not having a bad year.
Yeah, it's just like it just shows you his talent. When everybody else is stuck around him, and he still puts up his numbers, right?
Coach Man Mike, I'm gonna throw a curveball at you because we talk Madden all the time. We play Madden there, Shaq and everyone out there. My new favorite quarterback in the league, honestly, is Josh Allen. I mean, you can say what you want about Lamar. You can say what you want about Goff being Mr. Consistent in the pocket. Josh Allen, watching him peel off yards, watching him bowl over two Redskins guys at the end zone, knocking down a linebacker and a safety, and getting in for the 230.
I would say that was my favorite play.
Quarterback that can run and shed tackles and still put the ball on a dime anywhere he wants on the field. God, he's a thing to watch. He is a thing of beauty to watch playing the game.
I will tell you my preseason prediction was what, Lard Sarge?
Yeah, Buffalo takes it.
Buffalo wins their first Super Bowl over Philadelphia.
Yeah, they ain't gonna win.
That was my first preseason.
Rams just showed them why they ain't gonna win.
But like, hey, it was preseason, right? It was my preseason prediction. And it can still happen.
They're going deep.
These two teams are still in the running.
They're going deep. There's no question. They're amazing.
And you know what? I would love nothing more than watch Buffalo win the very first Super Bowl, man. It is long overdue because I remember the old Martin Levy days, man.
Frank Wright. I felt bad at Frank Wright and all of them, that Jim Kelly.
You can't say they didn't earn it, right? You can't say they haven't been in the hunt and didn't earn it.
Yeah, I feel bad for Scott Norwood for missing the field goal.
Thurman Thomas. Yeah, man.
Andre Reed.
Chances are for the Buffalo versus Lions in the bowl? What do you think the chances are?
Say again.
Lions Buffalo.
Well, I can tell you right now.
I don't think the Lions are going to be there.
Okay, so the Lions have beat good quality teams. Their schedule haven't been easy, so they beat good quality teams. And then the NFC North is beast right now. It is beast, the best conference in football
division.
Yeah, the best division in football right now. So they had to make their way through that. So we can't say that there's not a possibility of them not going to the bowl. Now,
I'm going to tell you why there's not a possibility that they're going to go, but because here's the reason why there's not a possibility. Because Dan Campbell will screw it up. He'll go for it on 4th and he will lose the game. He'll be down to the wire. No playoff game. It's 4th down. He's going to be like, go for it.
Lions have 18 players on injured reserve, the most in the NFL, and they're still winning games.
Yeah. That'll die out in the playoffs. I'm going to tell you right now. They're
getting people back. There was a great news on them today. They're getting some people back, but what? When does that ever happen?
The Lions. Right now, I'm just saying. The strength of the Eagles, their ground game looks solid. If they pass game open back up, they're gonna be something to deal with, right?
Yeah, Saquon Barkley setting the Philly record for rush yards, the number 1 guy ever in the history of Philly.
Yeah, right? Too. As soon as that trade happened, we were all like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, why would you?
Why would the Giants do that, right? It's no shock to anybody. It's just like I'm still like baffled why that trade happened.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there are other teams. And I'm gonna tell you a team that we're not talking about. But we can't put nothing past them. The Green Bay Packers. They always show up in the playoffs. It's like they wait. They wait.
Lions barely got away with that one.
That's what I'm saying. And then when they get in the playoffs, they turn into a different team.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Minnesota never shows up. We're not worried about Minnesota in the playoffs. They never show up. We ain't worried about nobody coming out the NFC South.
Before.
I'll give you all an empty stat.
Minnesota's a different team right now. No, Shaq. Minnesota's a different team right now. This is going to come down to the wire in that division on who pops on top.
Lars, you ain't about to tell me that they go into the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold as quarterback.
You wouldn't think so, would you?
No.
You wouldn't think so. But look at the record. Look at the stats. Look at what they're doing and who they're beating.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, but I don't think
Game with Detroit, the last game of the year with Detroit.
I don't think that. I think in the playoffs, because of how experienced the team is, and how experienced the coaching is, I'm telling you, Green Bay is more of a threat than Minnesota in the playoffs.
I think
you're right. So,
yeah, I'm gonna disagree with both of y'all. Minnesota beats Green Bay. You got Jefferson. You got just too many weapons. Darnold is just too dadgum consistent.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's been on, he's been off. He's been on, he's been off. They lost division games they shouldn't have lost. They should have beat the Lions. Honestly, they outplayed them.
Yep. Hey.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Oh no, so
Minnesota is extremely dangerous.
Jack agrees with me.
Yeah. So, I will say, like, again, playoff football, right? When you get to the playoffs, all the teams that are there, they're there for a reason, right? And they're going to be good. So, like, again, if the season were to end today, Jack put it on there, and we mentioned it earlier, we would go up against Philly if the season ended today, because they would be the number 2 seed and we'd be the number 7 seed. So that's who we would be playing. But the season's not ending today. There's still, we haven't clinched the playoff berth yet. There's still a whole lot of football left, and so we'll see. But I tell you what, like, when I look, what do y'all think about the AFC? Because we didn't talk about the playoff picture on the AFC much.
Yeah.
So the AFC, this is just me personally. The 7 teams that are in those seeds are the 7 teams that's going.
Yeah.
I'm looking at what Denver has left on their schedule. It should be easy for them to win out. The rest of the teams, Miami's not having a good year. I firmly believe that those 7 teams that are locked in, because the NFC has more teams that are already eliminated than the NFC right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would say the team to watch, the scariest team, like the one that's flying under the radar for me for the AFC, the one that's really flying under the radar to me is the Chargers. And if I could pick a coach of the year right now, it would be Jim Harbaugh. Like, Large Sarge remembers this from the offseason too. I started talking about Jim Harbaugh before anybody started talking about Jim Harbaugh coming back to the NFL. Yeah. As soon as he won in Michigan, I'm just like, why is this guy not back in the NFL? And I never liked him going to Michigan to begin with, but he was so dead set on leaving the 49ers and going and playing for his alma mater. And so as soon as he won a national championship with them, I'm just like, he needs to come back into the NFL. And I started saying his name before any of the pundits did, or he was even being considered for coaching. I don't even think he even considered it himself. And but I wanted him to come to Washington.
Yeah.
And he's turned around the Chargers, man.
Yep.
He's turned.
I watched that game with a lot of verve last night. And listen, Coach Mad Mike, we're already wrong on our predictions for the AFC West. We predicted Kansas City to go, but we had the Raiders with 7-10, and the Chargers was 6-11. Well, that's already upside down. Yeah, we had the Broncos coming last at 4-13. That's what we predicted. So
yeah,
it's a crazy, crazy division this year.
It is.
I think Las Vegas is at the bottom. Broncos and the Chargers finish ahead. The question is, who's going to beat Kansas City with 9 straight wins, winning with only a 1-score point in all their games? 1 score in 9 games is the difference.
And right now, I'm gonna tell you, the team that can beat Kansas City in that conference is the Chargers.
That's right.
It is the Chargers.
You know what? You can lose by 1 score.
Last night they win,
and you can lose by 1 score in the playoffs, and you're done. You're going home. You're on the couch.
Yep.
So it happens that quick. So, like, one of the things I try to look at is, okay, yeah, you're going to get that first week bye, but you better not go to sleep on that first week bye because you're going to come in a divisional round and, you lose by 1 point, your season's done, and I don't give a flip what your record was during the year.
I think the team that needs that first round bye is the Lions, so they can get some people back, right?
Yeah.
Their defense, that'll help them if they can get there, if they can get it. The Chiefs just look stupid. Of course. Again, they look stupid. But
my preseason prediction on the Chiefs was Taylor Swift was going to be crying.
Yeah, that's right.
I said they're going to lose.
Philly look fantastic because they're winning, but they're very close games.
Yeah, and if they lose, we're going to see some big old alligator tears out of Taylor Swift, man.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the team, these 7 teams from the AFC make it. I'm going to tell you the team that everybody hoping they get in the first round is Houston. Houston has not been Houston has not looked good at all this year. They have not looked good at all this year, right? But because of how weak their conference is, they're good to go.
Right? And Coach Mad Mike and I called 11-6 for Houston finishing the year with the Jags at 9-8, Tennessee at 8-9, and Indianapolis at 8-9. So it looks like it's going to be Houston, Indy, Tennessee, and Jacksonville.
I think in our predictions, then we pick all the number ones, like all the division winners that are leading right now.
We did.
So we're
places, but we picked the top.
Hey, you know what's crazy to me? Now that since we talking about this, right? Since we talking about these playoff teams and who's sorry and who's good, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of these, I want to say 75% of the quarterbacks that got big paydays this offseason are not in. Miami not. Jacksonville not. Cincinnati not. All these quarterbacks Dallas. All these guys just got big paydays and they had horrible seasons, except for Joe Burrow.
And their salary caps are destroyed because of it.
Yep.
Big
implications. I don't like paying all that money to a quarterback, man.
Yep.
Big implications next year. Yeah, no, I agree.
I love Jaden Daniels right now, but I'm going to tell you in 4 years, I'm not going to love him so much.
Yeah.
Well, what happened? We got 4 years there, Coach. It could.
Well,
we need to say enough's enough. This is the max we're paying, and that's it.
Well,
we need a new CBA for that, but like
right now, it's crazy. But if they're stacking 10% a year, $5 million a year on quarterback salaries in 4 years, we're talking almost $70 million for a quarterback. That's untenable. That can't happen.
Yeah. Now, what's the name? I can tell you right now, we're gonna have to pay him. We are, and we depending on how his sophomore year goes, we're going to have to pay him. Everybody's going to be adjusted to Jaden Daniels by next year.
Yeah.
But we watched the adjustments made to him as the year went along. Next year, everybody's gonna be locked in on Kingsbury offense. They're gonna be locked in on Jaden Daniels. We're gonna get a healthy Brian Robinson back. But if I were the Commanders, I would look in a draft for another running back. I evidently
we need another running back, another wide receiver for sure.
And I think we should draft 2 receivers in this draft, right? So I'm being honest with you, and then we need to draft a linebacker. When I was watching that Penn State game, I would love Muhammad. I would love to see him in a Commander's uniform. The Penn State linebacker, man, to replace Bobby Wagner, because he got that Michael Parsons, young Bobby Wagner dog in him. There's certain players that I've been watching. I'm like, man, I would love to see this guy, especially in the receiving room. You know what I mean? Because we're not going to be a top 10 draft pick this year. We're not. We're going to probably be somewhere between 15 and 25.
Right.
You know, the one thing that kind of just destroys me of the draft, I know we got to wrap the show up, but like, we have set our franchise back so much over our first round draft picks over the past decade.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really hit on anybody, really. The only one that we got left is Jerron Payne.
Well, we hit on RG, but then he got injured, and you can't predict that. We did hit on him. We did hit on him, Coach.
I would debate that all day, and I'm going to tell you why. I've said this multiple times, Lodgy and Sajid. Listen, Shanahan and them didn't want RG3. RG3 didn't understand route trees. RG3, Baylor didn't have a route tree system. He didn't understand that, right? So, he didn't understand route trees coming into the league. He remembered it from basic football or whatever the case may be as a quarterback. But Shanahan and them pick was Kirk Cousins. That's why they drafted him in the 5th round. They said, this is our guy. I said it when he was drafted that Kirk Cousins was going to be our guy. No matter if we kept RG3, Kirk Cousins was going to be our guy. I said this. The ownership wanted RG3 because he was electrifying. Shanahan didn't want Kirk Cousins because he was a fundamental guy that they needed for that offense.
Yeah.
I will argue that all day.
I'm just saying, RG was rookie of the year. He came out of the gate strong.
Yeah.
Got hurt. And we were afraid about RG3 syndrome with Daniels, right, Coach?
Oh, I mean, Jane Daniels gave a lot of RG3 vibes.
Yeah.
You know, especially not knowing who to slide.
Game of the year when he took that hit, we're like, oh dear God, he's stupid. You know, he needs to get on the slip and slide and learn how to slide, right?
He still hasn't figured that out yet.
He's definitely improved, right? But hopefully we make it through this year with a healthy quarterback, right? You get to year 2. But
you gotta have a few years before you really judge a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To see what you have. You know, everybody has a sophomore slump, right? And then you got to see over a couple of years what you really have. It takes 3 or 4 years to know what you have, and by then you know whether. And by then you got to pay them $1 gazillion, and that's when I fall out of love with them, because it's like I don't want to see us paying 60,
But I
70
agree with
million
Shaq.
for a
If we
quarterback.
get him a couple wide receivers that he could, so we've got a couple more weapons in there. We get another solid number 2 running back, which I think in our core we're okay. But we give him more weapons to deal with. He can sit in the pocket more. We have a better chance to keep him healthy. I think we're going to be okay.
Let's be realistic though. B-Rob is already starting to show the signs of injuries. We only got 2 good years left in. We only got 2 good years left in B-Rob and Max.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and we have no number 2.
We have no number 2.
And it ain't Rodriguez or McNichols. It's not none of those. Those are pickup guys. So like, yeah. So anyway, we're going to have to wrap that up because it's time for Monday Night Football. And this was a great show, guys. Hey man, it's nice seeing you, good old Shaq. Nice seeing you, Large Sarge. That's right. Hell, baby. Thanks for being on, Jack Miller, and everybody else who was on tonight. This is Football Psych, and we are out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, yeah. Woo.